and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for all the toy news, action figure news of the week that interests me, that hopefully interests you, and I've been recovering, recouping, whatever you want to call it, from San Diego Comic-Con, as last week, no toy news, but there was a lot of content, a lot of footage, obviously from San Diego Comic-Con, and then all this week here on this YouTube channel, as I've been recapping and recovering, sure, that's the word of the day, recapping everything that went down from the toy lines I do collect, of course. So check out all those toy news videos, but today's toy news, it's everything I missed in those, plus brand new toy news from other companies and stuff like that. So straight up traditional toy news, and we got 2 full pages of notes to dive into here today. So a lot going on in the toy news, as you can imagine, coming on the heels of San Diego Comic-Con. And San Diego Comic-Con, a good time. I'll probably talk a little bit more about it in weekly purchases. Definitely talking about it next week in my podcast, of course, The Kyle Peterson Show, wherever podcasts are found, with video cast, of course, on YouTube. Also dive into the death of Hulk Hogan in that podcast, talk about a San Diego Comic-Con a little bit, tell a story from San Diego Comic-Con that just grinds my gears still to this day, and all points in between. And I might even have chipped a tooth live on camera on the Try New Food segment. Believe you me, I was pretty hot about that. So check all that out, of course, next Tuesday or right now if you're a Patreon member. And of course, don't miss this week's episode of the podcast, my tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. I filmed that an hour after finding out he died, so we did talk a lot of Ozzy in that one there. So check out the podcast wherever you do find podcasts, of course. And while you're here, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and my other YouTube channel. Get the plugs out of the way. But we're not done plugging. You know me, I'm plugging every hole I can find. We got the Patreon giveaway for the month of August. Of course, July was a double dose of Hulk Hogan. Weird coincidence on that one there. But August, heavy duty, like a young Judas Priest in the 80s. We got heavy duty as the giveaway this month on Patreon. So check out the Patreon. Early access, Q&As, bonus videos, you name it. It's all going down there on the Patreon channel each and every single day. Heavy duty is going to be that giveaway. And of course, the sponsor of the toy news this week, Jay'sToysAndGames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items, and you're going to see a ton of stuff from Jay's. They got the mother load in of new stuff, and guess what? I went in there, scooped in, saved myself 15%. Got some new McFarlane stuff, got some new, of course, G.I. Joe stuff over there, got some new wrestling stuff over there, got new He-Man cartoon collection. There's a lot going on. You too can save 15% over there. Head over to Jay's Toys and Games. Tell them Kyle sent you, of course. But of course, we're going to dive into the toy news. We're going to start with wrestling. We're going to start with some follow-ups from WWE Mattel. A big one. Of course, I did do the recap video. Check that out. Tons and tons of stuff. And I said in that video, I'm probably going to miss something. We'll circle back to it. And that's what we're doing right now. A lot of stuff was shown. And I did grade a lot of the different companies out there. I thought the Mattel WWE line stole the show there with the most amount of new stuff, reveals, and excitement around their reveals. So kudos to the Mattel team, of course. But I did miss a whole shelf of Ultimates. We got the Monday Night Wars Rey Mysterio Ultimate coming. Ripped Mask Edition, Soft Mask Edition, all the bells and whistles, a Walmart exclusive. To me, this is still the most famous outfit for Rey Mysterio, and he's been around a heck of a long time, had a lot of different costumes. This one is just like burned into my brain, and we've had it from Jakks in the regular Ruthless Aggression, Deluxe Aggression. We've had it in the Elite line. Now we're getting it in the Ultimate line. A very breathtaking one from his time in WCW. So we did see that there. We saw a new Target Legends for early next year. It is Bray Wyatt, I guess early Bray Wyatt, non-Fiend Bray Wyatt, coming to the Ultimate Edition line, looking very good there. We also saw Rick Steiner, and apparently it's going to be in the Monday Night Wars Greatest Hits, getting the use out of that last Rick Steiner we got. Change the colors, change the stuff, and bada boom, bada bing, you got a new Rick Steiner figure that's coming in the Monday Night Wars Greatest Hits. We also saw Bash at the Beach 3-pack. Now, the Hulkster was missing, and that kind of was the theme of the weekend. seemingly pulled a lot of that Hulk stuff. Have to imagine we'll see that Bash at the Beach in the future. I believe this can be a Walmart exclusive pack next year, but it is, of course, the night Hulk Hogan turned heel. Goes great with that 3-pack from back in the day at Walmart with the Macho Man, Lex Luger, and Sting, of course. So now you have both sides of that Bash at the Beach, so that'll be kind of fun to have there. It comes with a lot of accessories, the popcorn, things like that. So cool to get this one. And this one was rumored a while back. I even thought this was going to be the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Was it 2 years ago? I thought for sure that would be the Ultimate one with the anniversary, whatever year that was, the anniversary. Never did happen, but we are getting that 3-pack now in 2026. So I think that'll be a popular one for a lot of people. There was also a little bit of news coming out of the Mattel thing, and I totally spaced it. Bill McKenna told me about it. It looks like they are getting rid of Chase figures, at least putting it on ice. And that's usually what Mattel says. Street Sharks, they're on ice. Chases, they're on ice. This line's on ice. Maybe in the future we'll revisit it. We hear that a lot there, and it's a good way to say it's not canceled and keeping the hope alive for the consumer out there. But it sounds like the Elite line and all the other lines are getting rid of Chases for now. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Doesn't really hurt my feelings, but it is a nice way for maybe lower level characters to get 2 figures right at once, like an Axiom of the world. Let's be honest, we're not going to get a ton of Axiom figures. We'll get some more as we know, but we're not going to get tons and tons. It's a cool way with the Chase to get 2 versions of Axiom out there. And, you know, for a Roman Reigns, doesn't really matter so much, but it was key for those guys like Axiom in this case. Whatever the reason, we're going to save a little bit of money in our wallet with no Chases to track down there. And I still got a few Chases to track down. I still got to get that Nia Jax Chase. I thought I ordered that at ringside, and I accidentally ordered the white one. So I got doubles of her. Oh, hard times. But I will get that red Nia Jax Chase eventually here. We also saw some carded images this week of the WWE Superstars line. We saw RVD, Hurricane, and the Steiners. And for whatever reason, I thought the Steiners, we originally heard about it, saw about it, or something. They had Letterman jackets on these. It must have been like me just imagining things, dreaming things here. But it is the Steiners. I thought there was going to be a jacket. There is obviously no jacket with these. But so cool to get Steiner Brothers. That was one of the shocking things from Mattel. I'm shocked we didn't get more Steiner Brothers, more classic Steiner Brothers. I'm sure they're saying in due time. I'm sure they know how long the contract is. They're spacing that out. Guess that's what they're doing there. We got Superstars, Steiners, RVD, and Hurricane coming. RVD is cool, a little bit of a 2-in-1. You can take it throwback to barefoot RVD if you want to. I like the idea of that. So that should be a fun wave there. The Superstars line, no sign of slowing down at all. Going to be interesting to see where they go in the future. Hopefully that does go to Mattel Creations. There's been rumors of that. We've seen Monday Night Wars. We've seen a lot of the Target stuff. Have to imagine that will follow. Hopefully, once again, sooner rather than later. Ringside, of course, use discount code Kyle. Save yourself at Ringside Collectibles. Save yourself 10%. We got From the Vault, the latest wave. Should be here, I think, Monday, I think is when they're coming for me. Hall and Nash, of course, Cactus Jack and RVD. Expect those reviews in the future here. But the re-releases, reimaginings, whatever you want to call them, coming soon. The latest one in stock right now over there at Ringside. Head over there and get those. And then, of course, the biggest thing from Mattel personally was the LJNs. Of course, after the feedback, after my videos, all that kind of stuff, they did announce the Hulk Hogan. It did go up for pre-order on Monday. I was in a meeting, of course. I'm always in a meeting when these things happen. I think it sold out. The pre-order sold out within an hour. I'm not too concerned about that Hogan. I think they'll make a lot of those. I think they'll be out there. Just missed the pre-order, and it happens from time to time. But it'll be exciting to see these LJNs. It's going to be exciting to see how the average Joe, the average collector, resonates with these LJNs, because we're in a little bit of a bubble. If you're a big Rubber Guys fan, obviously an old school LJN fan, Latuni fan, whatever it may be, it's a niche of a niche for sure. Can they take that niche out to a wider span? It'll be interesting. Target's a great first step. It'll be interesting to see where the consumers go. Me personally, I'm here for all the LJNs. You know that. I want the LJNs. I knew I would get flamed in my video. I posted one. I'm still unsure of it a little bit. I like the idea of new talent. I like the idea of classic guys that never got it. I like the idea of running hand in hand with the big Rubber Guys who will have different talent than the WWE will have. Just the one thing I don't like is the Ultimate Warrior, for example, being in the same pose. And people say, Kyle, you're gatekeeping, whatever you want to say. It's just my opinion. It's no better than your opinion or not. But me personally, I don't think sales would change at all if that Ultimate Warrior had 2 open hands or 2 closed hands, or his arm was up in different positions. I don't think that would change anything at all. And it does tell the former people that had those, I know there's very few of us out there that have those, especially that Ultimate Warrior, but it is different. And I want to display them both. I want to display all of them, but I would love to have that same warrior, even if they kept everything the same, just a little bit of different posability, just a little different thing. It's like we're copying homework from back in the day. And I get it, Turtle lines, all these other toy lines do it, but Masters of the Universe, another Mattel property, did this with the Origin style. They tweaked it, they made some things different. Would have liked to seen that with the LJNs as well. Not going to happen there. Obviously, the Hulk Hogan, for instance, we're going to have a different skin tone color. I think King Kong Bundy, maybe shoelaces are going to be painted. So there will be some differences there. But just be ready, of course, if you're looking for the old school King Kong Bundy, old school Ultimate Warrior, you're going to have to sift through a lot of stuff on eBay listings and toy shows to make sure you're getting really the classic one and not the other one. And I know people are saying these new ones aren't going to take the value away from other old ones. Well, yeah, they are. There's going to be somebody out there. I don't care if it's one person, that's one person taking it away, because somebody might want that classic LJN Hulk Hogan, and they have that in their saved search right now. I'm going to get this. Well, now this one came out. Guess what? I'm canceling the saved search. I don't need that LJN one anymore. That's going to happen. It's not going to happen a ton because, let's be honest, there's not a ton of people that want LJNs in this day and age. They're popular, but they're not on the lips of consumers. They're not out there in front of everybody's faces. But I guarantee you there's people that say, hey, I'm long game and I'm waiting for a deal in that Ultimate Warrior. I'm waiting for a deal in that King Kong Bundy, whatever it may be, that said, oh, now I don't have to do that anymore. I've done that personally with the Playmates Turtles. I'm like, I'm going to get those vintage Turtles loose display one day. They re-released them at Target for $10. I said, you know what? I'm done with those. I'm not going to buy those latter ones from back in the day. So what happens there? That person trying to sell that old one, they just missed the sale because I was going to jump in there eventually. So to say they don't affect the value, they're not going to affect the old ones, you're fooling yourself there. Once again, niche of a niche of a niche. It's not right out there in our faces, but definitely there's going to be some missed sales from sellers of the old ones for sure that will pass on the new ones. It's just a matter of fact there. So I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm here for it. I love wrestling figures, and LJN is what brought me to the dance once upon a time. I would have liked to seen a little tweaks, but I'm not working for Mattel. I don't got my business hat on over there, and they're going to do what they want to do. We'll see how it works out for them. I am hopeful for success. I just don't know if little Timmy out there is going to see John Cena and want that big rubber guy. Or are they going to want a main event or an elite? Or are they going to want something different? I don't know. We'll find out. And that's why you do it. And that's why you put it out to market. Let the consumer decide. That's what ends up happening. Too many people gatekeep things and stop it from the consumer. You got to let the consumer decide at the end of the day. And that's it. It's about the money. Follow the money. Whatever Mattel, any company can make the most money, they're going to do. Whether we like it or not, we just have to understand that at the end of the day. But excited for the LJNs, excited where they go from there. It'll be very cool to see. We'll see what happens there. But we're not done with wrestling. AEW, of course, Swerve went online 8/1. As of filming, about 3 hours after it did go up live, it is still there. Apparently a little box tweak there from San Diego Comic-Con, so it'll be interesting to see if that really holds true or what. Is there going to be technically two different versions of this one? I guess we'll see once people start getting that one. I did get two of the Swerve, so I didn't feel like I needed to get in on that one. I'm good with the one I opened on the channel. Check out the review, of course, and the 1 minute box to celebrate my turn at San Diego Comic-Con. I got that in my collection. But just like Mattel, I did miss out of a couple of things when I was recapping. The first one goes back to would have been recapped last week in the toy news, which we did not do. Edge ringside collectible exclusive from his match in Toronto, his Toronto Maple Leaf gear. Looking very, very cool. Another Edge figure. So that is coming to ringside. Once again, use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. And then two figures I missed out on the recap. First time in the line. Two of them here. Two masked men as well. We got the Beast Mortis, of course. Black Taurus to those that know. Got him coming. Very cool. Can't wait to get this one. Should be very toyetic. And then we got Commander, another high flyer coming. I think he's out injured right now, isn't he? Or was trying to think. I always get him and Hologram mixed up a little bit, but I know he's not Hologram for sure. I think he was injured. He was like the Ring of Honor Pure Champion or something, but I felt like he went down injury. Anyways, long story short, Commander is coming to the line. So we got a little bit of AEW news. Going to be interesting to see where they go here in the future. Really seeing the rise of the Jazwares Vault exclusives, seeing the rise of Ringside, Target, Walmart exclusives, and then the mainline stuff just kind of peppered in is kind of how it's going. So it's an interesting dance compared to Mattel. And I say it all the time, said it in the recap videos for AEW. There's a lot of people that want to compare Mattel and Jazwares. You just can't do that for the wrestling lines, unfortunately. As a total corporation, you can compare them a little bit better, but when you're talking WWE Mattel and you're talking AEW Jazwares, it's not apples to apples. They're not going to have as much product out there. They don't have the shelf space. It's just not quite the same thing. So what we saw, of course, San Diego Comic-Con was a lot less than Mattel, but it makes sense for their space, their share in the market. So you always got to put that business hat on and understand that a little bit. But now going back, we talked LJNs. Now we're going to LJN styles once again. Latuni, the Everest Edition Macho Man, 1 of 200 is up right now. So if you're after the giant scale Macho Man from SummerSlam back in the day, pick that one up. And then we do got the Toon Stars coming on August 22nd. Ric Flair a part of this. So a cartoony edition. Kind of feels like it falls out of the old Hulk Hogan cartoon Once Upon a Time. Not sure what I think about this one yet. I still haven't been able to soak this Ric Flair in. There's things I like and there's things I don't like about it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And it's funny, as San Diego Comic-Con, I mentioned it in one of the recap videos this week. It's very overwhelming. We see so much product, we see so much stuff, and then if you're like me, you collect multiple lines, your wallet's just screaming, like, how am I ever going to afford all this stuff? But then you got to take a little deep breath or two first, and then take that step back and say, okay, this is basically a roadmap for the next 9 to 12 months. So it's not like I'm doling all this out at once. You don't have to get everything, of course. That's one thing. I'm usually a completionist on things. Not going to be on some stuff. And of course, there's always some, that's so hard to say goodbyes. 'Tis the season after San Diego Comic-Con. You look and you're like, okay, LJN's exploding, Big Rubber Guys exploding. There might be more Big Rubber Guy style figures from other companies. Do I need to adjust some stuff? Of course, I've got 3 detail shelves that are empty, waiting for more Big Rubber Guys and now LJNs. And I'm saying, okay, after about a year, I'm out of space there. Maybe I take all that stuff out there, open that up for my elites, move my LJNs maybe to bookshelves with Big Rubber Guys, move my retros over here, take down this collection, maybe sell this, maybe move that. There's a lot of stuff thinking about here, and I just wish I had a little bit more time. Time is of the essence. And I got a lot of stuff going on right now between my work-life balance is a tough one. You know, trying to manage the family life, the YouTube channels, and of course my day job. And I got a lot of travels coming up here in the next, this month, honestly. Indiana, I'm going to grace you with my presence. Can't wait to go to Hammond, Indiana. I'm going to be there. And of course, home of one Terry Funk once upon a time. So hopefully there's statues and stuff like that. Hopefully there's some good toy stores around as well. And hopefully some good pizza, or I don't know what Hammond, Indiana is known for. But I'll be out in that area later in August. But trying to get all this stuff figured out and done. And my collection is a mess right now. I'm getting off on a tangent here, but I need to move some stuff. I need to spend like a day just moving things, like this to here, this to there. We've all been there. If you're a collector, you know exactly what I'm talking about there. But back to the news, off of that tangent. Tangent commence was what we'll say. Major Bendies, they did do the reveal video of the day San Diego Comic-Con started, preview night Wednesday. One thing I forgot to mention, they do have the Major Bendies ring coming. Of course, great for your Major Bendies, your Major All-Stars as well. Repurposing of the boss fight ring, good idea right there. So that will be available sooner rather than later. We also getting into some retro figures, Matt Maniacs. What was that? The Major Brothers, Powers of Pain, the Hardy Brothers, Demolition all came to an end, of course, as the pre-order. I waited till the last minute. That's what I said. I don't want to put my money out there any sooner than I have to. I waited till the last day, got my pre-order in on those. But it looks like they got Hacksaw Jim Duggan coming in the future as well to the Matt Maniacs line. So we did see a preview of that. Looks good. I like this style of figures. They're different, but they do feel really nice. They do pose really well. They do look good, but they do look different than your traditional retros, which isn't a bad thing in an oversaturated market with retros right now. And it's gonna be interesting with the rise of LJNs back. Are people gonna have that, you know, that meme where the guy and the girl are walking and they're looking, you know, here's retros and here's LJN style. I could kind of see that. So it'll be interesting to see where some of these different companies go. A lot of them going to the elite style. Could we see some of these guys and gals maybe pivot to LJN styles as well? I really think we will see that in the future. It'll be interesting to see what the consumer wants, and we can only afford so much. And once again, niche of niches of niches, you got to be careful. So it'll be interesting to see where that all ends up going. Heels and faces this week, of course, Zombie Sailor, WrestleCon exclusive Roadkill. I'm fully expecting leftovers to be sold on his website, so we'll see where that goes. But that is this weekend if you want to get Roadkill. Also, Men on a Mission up for pre-order right now. Of course, part of San Diego Comic-Con. Not sure when that pre-order ends. I still got to get my order in on that one. I'm hoping we'll get an announcement. Hey, last day to pre-order. That's when I'll jump in and pre-order that one. Title Run toys coming in hot, and I did finally pull the trigger on those. Out of sight, out of mind. It's so much to keep track of sometimes, and I'm kind of like, do I need to get all these? But I want to support these companies. I want to see what the first run of these figures are. So I will have those probably in the next week or so. But they did announce this week Nikita Koloff and Harley Race coming to the retro style line. interesting on that Harley race because we do know he is coming to the Mattel line as a retro very soon as well. So it'll be interesting to see how well this Harley compares and see when the time comes to compare these two at the table, of course. But Nikita Koloff is a good one. That's a guy that doesn't have enough figures. We got a classic Superstars that was subpar back in the day, a little too skinny. Would love to see a big rubber guys one. I would love to see a pose in the black singlet. I know a lot of people want the red singlet. I always liked him in the black singlet, and I want him with the headband on, and then I want him with like the chain around his hand, and like kind of one of these looks with the chains dangling down. That's what I'd like to see with Nikita. I'd also like to see him pulling kind of like a Stan Hansen, get ready for the Russian sickle. I would love to see that as well. But Nikita is a must-have. Have to imagine we got to have more Nikita figures coming in the future from a lot of different of these retro companies and stuff like that. We'll see where that ends up going. KWK, no caller today, Todd McFarlane, so I'm not welcome into Club KWK. Hopefully I can sneak in the back door. But they did announce this week, coming off of San Diego Comic-Con, some of the announcements of some stuff that's coming in the future. They put a little bit of a quiz out there to everybody. How would you like to see this figure? And it is one Jameson. Bring me back to my childhood. I loved Jameson. He was annoying. He was a big dork. But I loved the Bobby Heenan show when I was a little kid. I still love Bobby Heenan. One of my favorite comedians of all time. Let me tell you, he is a comedian. And Bobby Heenan's show had Jameson as his sidekick. Absolutely loved all that kind of stuff. Would love to see Jameson in the KWK line. I think that would be very, very cool. I'm excited for Jameson. Get me a Jameson all day long. Bobby Heenan to me, of course, always about Hulk Hogan. We were the only ones telling you back in the day. And I had somebody in the comments. And it's funny is I had a lot of people at San Diego Comic-Con come up to me and say they love how much I joke about the Duke and the McFarlane on the couch and some of that kind of stuff. It's funny. It is a big joke at the end of the day. But I had somebody in the comments, Kyle, your delivery doesn't come off as a joke. It comes off very serious. Like, I absolutely hate Hulk Hogan. I absolutely hate Duke or something. It's a joke. It's funny. I shouldn't have to explain this, should I, Todd McFarlane, once again? But it's funny as somebody came at me in the comments saying, oh, you could tell, you know, the way you say it, you really hate the Hulkster and stuff. Hulkster never did anything to me. I'm a Warrior guy. That's true. You always have your favorites, but you joke around and you have fun. There's a lot more serious things in the world, is what it is. But back to KWK, Jameson hopefully coming in hot. One guy we know it's coming in hot is Barry Horowitz. Many different editions of Barry Horowitz as well. Pat yourself on the back, of course. We also saw Well Done, a little 2-pack of Well Done. A deep cut, but a memorable cut if you're me. Definitely not the Steiner Brothers Demolition, the Road Warriors for sure, but Well Done, adding to the tag team ranks from KWK. Also saw Samurai Del Sol coming in the future. Of course, he's had a few different luchadors, different masked men in the line. And then the Great Kabuki, which is pretty exciting as well, especially if you're a world-class fan back in the day. Kind of the Great Muta before the Great Muta in some ways as well, but I love that he's coming with the Mist for retro style. We saw how good that worked with the Mattel Great Mutas. Can't wait to see this one in hand with the Kabuki. Good showings from KWK right there. We also saw figure collections. Andre the Giant, 3 3/4 style, a little bit upsized compared to the Macho Man. That is coming around the corner, so we'll see where that one goes. One we don't talk a whole lot about is Rush Collectibles apparently getting out of the wrestling figure game. They're calling it quits after James Storm and Mr. Harris, of course, the Wildcat Chris Harris. After that, they're getting out of the wrestling figure game, going to focus on other properties. And apparently, Grapplers and Gimmicks, Rush Collectibles, not working together anymore. Still friends, gave themselves a handshake on the way out. They're just going their separate ways. So I don't know what that really means at the end of the day. We'll see. But Grapplers and Gimmicks came in extra hot over the last week or so. I guess last 2 weeks is what we're going to cover here. We did see the Regime Godwins, better pictures of those. Thought those looked really, really nice. The carding, I'm still not sure about that AI graphics. I really want to see the figures on the card as well to make my final opinion on that. But we did see those, and I guess those are going to be the first ones up coming at us there. Can't wait to see those. We also saw Gangrel, Rougeau Brothers, Ahmed Johnson. We've known about those. We saw some more images of updates. Kind of the same body throughout. Gangrel, you can hide it behind a shirt. Ahmed is Ahmed, but Ahmed of the Rougeau should be a little bit different size-wise. Once again, we'll see when we get them here at the table. But man, giving us some figures we desperately need in our collection that unfortunately Mattel Jazwares are not giving us. We're going to get them through Grapplers and Gimmicks. So excited to see those in the future here. But then he showed us a bunch of different retro figures. We saw Kim Chi come into the line. That's a good one to go with our Kamalas, of course. So you got to have that. We saw Tom Brandy, of course. We saw Bastion Booger again. Updated images of Sergeant Slaughter. We also saw, who else did we see? Oh, Strike Force. That's right. I can barely read my handwriting there. Strike Force, Tito Santana, Rick Martel. You know I'm here for that one there. We also saw Tom Savini, which is an interesting deep cut. Of course, if you know Tom Savini, you know. If you don't, I'm not going to explain it to you. Two different versions of that one, getting into the horror elements a little bit from a little bit of Dusk Till Dawn. So I thought that was interesting to see as well. But now it's time for Todd McFarlane's favorite part of the show. It's time for the Power Town Update.
Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering?
And who's fooling who? There's no Power Town Update. I looked over San Diego Comic-Con. I looked at every single booth trying to find a Power Town booth. Unfortunately, no representation of Power Town at San Diego Comic-Con. And unfortunately, our Remcos, they said we're shipping via air in July. Well, here we are in August. No tracking, no shipment, no nothing. Just really, really hard times continuing for Power Town. You know, you got to under promise and over deliver. That is the key. And I would tell that to a lot of these companies. You know, there's nothing better when saying, hey, this is coming in December. And then guess what? It's here in October, especially if you already have my money like Power Town does. Oh, they're shipping it a couple of months early. Under promise, over deliver. Instead, they go the exact opposite way. They fill us full of lies, all this kind of stuff. Hard times with Power Town. They continue. Don't know where any of this has ended up going. I really don't. I think I said way back when they said July, I said probably September, and at best the end of the year for the other ones. I don't know if I would stick on that. I would never bet money on any of that. That's how confident I am in it. But hopefully we can get this Power Town nightmare over. So many of that talent there has even moved on. We saw, of course, the Remco Hacksaw Jim Duggan style from Power Town that we should have had way back when. It feels a lot less than now that we got the WWE Superstars coming from Mattel. It's just really, really tough for Power Town to take them seriously going forward. I know I'm preaching to the choir here. We've all talked about this a million times, but I just don't see anybody ever pre-ordering for Power Town again. And I think it's best for them just to fulfill these and really move on. And it's tough to do. It's tough to cut losses in business. But, you know, Magnum, he works for a telephone company or something like that. Greg Gagne does all kinds of stuff up in Minnesota. I think he jet skis maybe in the summertime and snow skis in the winter. I don't know what Greg Gagne is up to up there in Mound, Minnesota. Oh, beautiful this time of year. And then Steve Rosenthal, I thought he was retired. They kind of pulled him out of retirement. He can go back to retirement, I guess. So it is unfortunate because there was so much promise with Power Town. Like I've said a million times, I was so jazzed up, so excited. But conspiracy is the right word at this point. We've had issue after issue with every release, every announced date, every pre-order. There's been an issue every single time. There's so much more to that story. Where did all of our collective monies go? Where did it go? What did it do? What did it get to? I have no idea. So hopefully things get a little bit clear here in the next couple of weeks, but I don't think we should hold our breath. But we'll keep the Power Town watch going, even though there's nothing to talk about. Their website still says 3/5/2025 update. So they haven't even updated from their other updates that they put on Facebook groups and went to the majors with. So strange times, like a young Moody Blues in the 90s. That's what that is. That's a deep cut reference. If you got that, Todd McFarlane, you didn't even get that one. Shout out to the Moody Blues. Shout out to John Lodge. Shout out to Justin Hayward, of Ray Thomas as well. Mike Pinder, why not? Graham Edge. Shout out to all the Moody Blues members there. All right, shifting gears more like it to other stuff here. NECA came through, of course, at the very end of Comic-Con. They did post a picture of Chef Shredder and said, see you at New York Comic-Con. So a little tease for the future there. I thought that was pretty cool. They also put up 3 new figures on NECA Online, and they said there's going to be some of the most limited figures they've ever done. It is Casey Jones. It almost reminds me of the Patriot version of Casey Jones. Looking good there. April O'Neil for the Night Watch. I'm going to have to get that. I love that Night Watch team, so I want to keep complete on that. And then we got Karai as well. So we got 3 new NECA Turtles figures and different teams, different members. If you order them all together, you do get free shipping. So I will pull the trigger on that one there. But that was it from NECA outside of what we did see at the show, and a lot of good stuff there. And you'll see some new NECA stuff tomorrow in weekly purchases. Stuff I was shocked that I saw at the show that I picked up this week. So that's kind of fun to do as well. Super 7 Astro Lion-O. I did order that from Super 7. I missed the Walmart pre-order on that. And man, those tariffs, Todd McFarlane, I know. Those tariffs and shipping really get into you, where a $65 Lion-O, which in my head still should be $55, now $85 shipped with the tariff fees and everything else. It's like pricing out of the market right there. And I think that's one of the reasons we don't see a lot of Ultimate announcements from Super 7. The price is just getting too high for the demand. So I don't know where that ends up going. I guess we'll stay tuned on that as well. But they did announce an Ultimate a couple of weeks ago. It is up for sale right now, and I will pick this one up because I do like Mars Attacks, and Super 7 kills it with their glow-in-the-dark figures. Every time I come into my basement, I have one shelf of glow-in-the-dark figures, and that thing is so bright, looks so cool. Gonna have to get this Mars Attack one there. So that does look really good. We'll see where it ends up going. But now we're getting into some big news here. How about G.I. Joe Classified Series? And apparently, Todd McFarlane, you were telling me you tried to check out as a Pulse member, and you got iced on the Dreadnought set again, Cold Slither. Check out the Cold Slither unboxing, of course. I had to buy that, wait in line and buy it at San Diego Comic-Con. I only got one of them, but then I had to ship it. And I'm like, man, I could have bought it on Pulse and had it faster than me shipping it from San Diego. That was a whole rigmarole. But I know a lot of people got iced out during San Diego Comic-Con online. And apparently it happened again here. Now, I'm a Pulse member. I went in right at 1 o'clock, went through, got right in. I didn't have any issues. And then it wasn't until about a half hour later when Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane, coming out of retirement, fresh off his podcast appearance on the Kyle Peterson Show, he did mention he got iced out again. And apparently there's a bunch of hubbub online. So I don't know what's going on with Hasbro Pulse. Now, the Hasbro team told me at San Diego Comic-Con, and whether or not they're just saying that or what, I don't know. You never know what people tell you. They said they had a lot of these. So I don't know if there was a snafu or what, or if it'll go back up. I have no idea how this is all going to shake out there, but it is unfortunate because a lot of people want this Cold Slither. A lot of us love the heavy metal. A lot of us love the G.I. Joe. Everyone loves the Dreadnought. So this is a happening set if there ever was one. Going to be interested to see if everybody can get one of these. I truly believe it'll be like Serpentor, Cobra Commander, Dr. Mindbender. Yes, hard to get probably right now, but there was multiple opportunities. There was multiple chances to get those. Have to think we'll see the same thing with Cold Slither. So I wouldn't be shocked if a little patience goes a long way. I know it's easy to get angry and mad. It's just toys at the end of the day, though. So hopefully everybody that wants one will be able to get one, but it is a very fun set. But that hopefully will sort itself out. We'll see, or maybe not. And then, of course, you know what happens? You lose a customer a loaf at a time, you get them back a slice at a time. Maybe a bunch of people that are fed up, they stop buying G.I. Joe Classified, they cancel their Pulse membership. That's the best way to get to Hasbro in their wallet, as we do know. But a lot of people don't do that extra step, as we know as well. But speaking of Hasbro, Snowcat, we didn't get the bump out of San Diego Comic-Con. Going to be interested to see where that goes. Right now, we're at about 7,500 of the 8,000 needed. Gotta imagine it's going to hit 8,000. I don't think we'll have any problems there. So many people always wait to the last minute. We know how that one ends up going. I just hope we can get to my boy Flint. I don't know. Could be too much of a reach for the pocketbooks this time of year. Always tough this time of year with vacations and back to school and just life in general expenses. If you're like me, your whole house falls apart when you come back from vacation or San Diego. My garage door broke, washer dryer broke, had a leak in the AC, cracked a tooth. Oh my gosh, check out the podcast this week too. Cracked a tooth on trying a new food. Can you believe that? I chipped a tooth. These beautiful teeth. These beautiful teeth. Oh my gosh, and one of the ones way in the back too. So I don't know. Hard times. There's a lot of money going out, not as much money going in this time of year is what it feels like to me. Got my wife and kids this weekend. They're going to a big music festival for 3 days. They'll be coming back each night, but they're going 3 days. I got so many figures to unbox. You'll see that in weekly purchases tomorrow. So I got plenty of time to hopefully get around this stuff, edit some videos and stuff, get back, because it's weird to come back from San Diego Comic-Con. I'm so behind in my day job. Just trying to get back on my 2 feet is what I'm trying to do. I feel like I'm swimming, and I truly am swimming. We'll see how it comes this weekend. But there's a lot of expenses going on for everybody. I just listed some of mine. I'm sure you got some of the same kind of things going on. Maybe you need a new car, whatever. So this could be hurting the Snowcat a little bit, but we'll see where it goes. We got till, I think, the 14th. I have to think before the 14th we'll hit 8,000. Just how far past 8,000 will we go? Going to be interesting to stay tuned to right there. But speaking of crowdfunding, speaking of labs and all kinds of things in between, the Snake Layer is back up there over the Masters Universe. Man, oh man, this has been one of the weirdest ones ever. Debuted last year at San Diego Comic-Con, then put on ice forever, disappeared, then came back kind of as a surprise at San Diego Comic-Con. People were just groaning about it. Then they pulled it down, and then the day it went live on Friday, they messed the tiers and changed the tiers up there. So it almost feels like, no pun intended, Todd McFarlane, that this is a little bit snake bit. A little bit snake bit there. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see where it goes. I got to imagine everybody likes the new tiers better than the last one. I don't know how you couldn't there. But of course, this time is you have to back by the 14th to get Lady Slither. And conveniently enough, that's the same day as the Snowcat. So an interesting plot point right there. $300 on this one, but if you want that Bone Lady Slither, you got to have this before the 8/14th. You have to put your money down for that there. And it has to hit $6,000 to fund. And with that, you do get the horse. Chimera, whatever it is. To get that horse, they moved that from the $10,000 down to the $6,000. Smart move by the Mattel team. Everybody wanted that horse. Now we're going to get it at $6,000. If we can get it to $8,000, you get the Priest Pythonus, which is an amazing looking figure. I love the looks of that figure there. But now instead of $10,000 for him, it's $8,000. So the tiers got knocked down. We're $6,000 to fund. $300 though. So I'd be interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this one. There's been some funding already. People are jumping in once again down to the wire. I'm sure that'll happen with this one too. It happens with all these things. But I'd be interested to hear if you're going to pick this one up, or are you in that position where Snowcat or Snake Lair? Neither. I don't know what your position's going to be there. I definitely don't feel like I need this one, but I am complete on the line. I feel like I should jump into it. I'm sure I'm going to pick this one up, but I do like the tiers. I like the chances of this funding a lot more now with the tiers than what we had before, as I kind of covered. I thought it was going to be touch and go. I didn't think they could hit the 10,000, especially when the Joe is struggling right now to hit 8,000. Can't see that one hitting 10,000, but 8,000 could happen. I think 6,000 will happen for sure for the Snake Lair, and we'll see where it ends up going from there. So an interesting time with that one. And then we finish up the toy news this week with Todd McFarlane on the couch. Todd, we had a heck of a time over there in San Diego Comic-Con. You fed me some amazing meals over there. Those little burger sliders, Chef Kiss, of course. Got to see all the new wares out there. Went to the panel. You said, "Yo, Kyle, sit front row. Sit front row over here." And I said, no, I want to sit by the screen. I want to see everything. I want to see this chimp you're rolling out there. And that chimp, oh man, Chef's Kiss. Detective Chimp, I found out was his name in the comments. Never heard of him in my life, but he will be in my collection. Give me all the chimps in clothing. Give me the Lancelot Link line too while you're at it now. I know you're going to have some time in the future. But shout out to Todd McFarlane, shout out to McFarlane Toys. But we did see this week up for pre-order the new Super Friends line. I'm here for that. I'm all in on the Super Friends. Can't wait to get those in the collection. And really the last thing from Todd McFarlane this week, Superman Dark Knight Black and White Gold Label McFarlane Store Edition. Easy pass for me. I don't need that one that bad, but it does look cool for what it is if you collect that style of figures. But that's it. Todd's on vacation mode after that. Celebrating 40th anniversary, I believe you did say, Todd. So congrats to you and the missus as well. Shout out to Todd McFarlane from the couch. And shout out to all of you surviving San Diego Comic-Con coverage. My voice just hanging on by a thread. I've done a lot of talking this week for sure. It's been an interesting week for sure as well with San Diego Comic-Con and all of the other stuff. Hopefully you checked out all the toy news videos. There was a lot to cover this week. I did a Masters video, G.I. Joe video, AEW video, Mattel video, LJN specific video, a lot of toy news videos. If you want to have a little bit more discussion going on, check out those videos. Got a lot of unboxings to come. I'm overwhelmed with the unboxings. You'll see tomorrow. Could be one of the biggest weekly purchases of all time. All that, plus my wife Angie joins me for the question of the week. A lot going on the channel, as you're used to by now. We'd be very interested to hear what you're excited for, what you were hoping to see at San Diego Comic-Con. What did you think of the toy news this week? Anything you want to comment about, let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Your best way to support this channel and all the content it does bring. Check out my podcast. Once again, my wife Angie and I, it's The Kyle Peterson Show, each and every Tuesday, wherever podcasts are found. Video cast on YouTube. A lot of fun over there, and a chipped tooth or two, apparently. So check it out wherever podcasts are found. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com if you want to send me an email. So for another week of the toy news, you know what I'm doing? I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into a weekend.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?